4 days to go until the end of the 2025 Connecticut General Assembly session. The House will hold a rare session today. They're moving toward a number of bills. Of course, the state budget, which some leaders think can be run on Monday. Also, on a 32-4 vote on Friday, the Senate passed a bill expanding access to child care. It establishes a first-in-the-nation early childhood education endowment, which will create 16,000 new preschool and daycare openings by 2030. Senate President Martin Looney says as a result, more kids will be well prepared for kindergarten.
5-year-olds who come to school without adequate preparation are, in effect, isolated and doomed to failure, except in a few rare cases where there may be an intervention in their behalf that might help them catch up. It's a terrible thing to see.
New child care slots will be available for free or at reduced cost. The bill also helps towns and cities address the rising cost of special education. Friday marked 1 year since the death of Connecticut State Police Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier. Last evening there was a vigil held in his memory. It was held on the overpass near where Pelletier was struck by a hit-and-run driver as he conducted a traffic stop along Interstate 84 in Southington. Troopers closed the highway in both directions briefly as part of the ceremony. The man who struck Pelletier copped a plea in that case and is now serving an 18-year prison sentence. There is a gun buyback being held in Hartford today. It's being held in the North End at Restoration Church on Main Street. Sergeant Chris Mastriani says the goal is to provide residents with unwanted firearms a safe way to get rid of them. Anybody bringing guns back is eligible to receive a gift card of varying denominations. The gun buyback is getting underway right now and will run until 3 this afternoon. While the east deals with heavy rain, parts of the nation's midsection will be baking in unseasonable heat. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
Extreme heat temperatures could easily be over 105, 6, 7 degrees or so. And because of that, a heat advisory continues in effect just inland of the California coast here for most of interior California as well as Nevada and on up into parts of Oklahoma.
A WTIC News time approaching 9:04. Let's check our forecast.
Mostly cloudy, breezy. Do expect a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly this afternoon, the high 65. Those showers clear out. It'll be breezy overnight with a low of 49. An afternoon shower in spots tomorrow. It'll be breezy with a high of 64. Tomorrow night down to 46 degrees, and then we climb in the temperature department. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 74. Tuesday, mostly sunny, the high 81, up to 86 degrees on Wednesday with lots of sunshine. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, we have cloudy skies right now. Rain seems to have stopped, at least for the time being. 61 is the temperature in Hartford. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
The 2025 Travelers Championship is bringing it all to TPC River Highlands June 18th through the 22nd. We're talking about 4 full days of intense competition between fan-favorite PGA Tour stars like Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, and defending champ Scottie Scheffler. Take it from me, Chris Berman. Don't miss one shot of the Northeast-only PGA Tour signature event. Get your tickets to all the action now at TravelersChampionship.com.
At Joe the Plumber, we stand behind all our residential work, except maybe toilets. I mean, we do great work on toilets, but toilets are right up against the wall, so they're kind of hard to stand behind, you know? Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we are going to be here until 11 o'clock on yet another beautiful Saturday in Connecticut. Rainy and cold.
Yeah.
And May 31st, rainy and cold. But we're here to help you guys out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. Get online early. 860-522-9842 is the number. And we will do our best to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. What do you want to start with, Dennis?
I want to talk about Asus.
Yeah, Asus has had an issue.
Yeah. Now, what we're talking about, Asus makes computers, but
Yep.
they also make routers and access points and all kinds of things like that.
Motherboard.
And in a surprise to me, they are one of the most popular brands for routers in the country.
That is a
Them and TP-Link. I mean, those are like the top two.
TP-Link scares me.
15 years, yeah, same here. But
Yeah.
15 years ago, the top brand was Linksys.
Which is what I've got.
And now it appears that that's, no longer the case.
Yeah.
At any rate, a number of Asus routers are subject to a particular compromise. And this is not only a backdoor compromise, meaning the bad guys can tamper with your device
Right.
and turn on a feature that may already be off, but it gives them access in real time whenever they want to the router, and it gives them admin access so they can control what it does. Now, the irony is that this is something that Asus has patched. There is a new firmware that you can get that will get rid of this exploit.
Which you've got to do.
And you've got to do it. But the thing is, if your router is one of the ones that's already been tampered with,
well, you're in trouble.
Then you can get the new firmware, but the backdoor is already there and resident, so you need to remove it. We've got an article. I've got an article from ZDNet that kind of goes over how to do that. If your Asus router is one of the ones that's affected, they'll tell you how to find that out and then what to do about it.
It'll even let you know where to look if the back door is open.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
And they'll do it through like a brute force a credential combination. They're trying to get into your system through brute force.
Well,
attack.
yeah, but it's also an exploit, I
Yeah.
think, where they can just send packets to, particular packets to the router.
Yep.
And it will open up what they're trying to do.
Now it's saying 9,000 are affected, which means the thing about these types of exploits is once you're impacted, you can send out a "Hello, are you out there?" and the routers say, "Yeah, I'm here."
Right.
So there's 9,000 of them out there that already are impacted. So if you happen to have an Asus router, this is something to be aware of. We'll put the link up here for you guys to read. And the moral of the story is this: do not have your router set to manually update. Just set it to have it auto update.
Right.
It's that way. At least at home, your systems are going to be
Well, in
protected.
fairness to people, automatic router updates are actually kind of a new thing, at least in the consumer space.
Linksys has been doing it forever.
Well, some models and some brands have been doing it, but not everybody has. At least I would say over the last 6 or 7 years. So there, it is something that people didn't pay attention to, but the companies that make them are now. They're getting wise to what they need to do to get these things updated.
They really
and
do.
they've been working at it, and it is better than it used to be. But
all right. In other news, this was on the AP. I tried to get this guy on our program. He hadn't responded yet. Alan Suderman has a story about wrench attacks on wealthy crypto holders. This is an issue that's on the rise, according to Alan. Basically, a tale of an Italian man who said he was kidnapped and tortured for weeks inside an upscale Manhattan townhouse by his captors seeking his Bitcoin access. Basically, they take a wrench and they smash at your kneecaps or beat you up until you give them the passwords. So when you're dealing with crypto, you're dealing with an unregulated fake piece of junk as far as I'm concerned. And once they figure out you're a whale of a crypto holder, the bad guys go after you specifically and literally pound you about the head until you give them the password. And then, of course, you go ahead and they transfer the money out of there, and it's a little hard to get back depending on where it's transferred to.
Right.
So be wary. I would recommend that if you're dealing with crypto and you have a lot of it, the bad guys are looking for you.
Yeah, they are.
You know, it's a little harder to steal things like gold and jewelry and other valuable items versus just transferring your crypto out of your wallet in a matter of moments. So
right, if they're trying to get to jewelry, you can lock that up, and they would have to physically get to it. But when it's crypto, all they have to get to is you.
And because as whoever you are as a libertarian, you must be a dyed-in-the-wool libertarian to be dealing with crypto. You love the idea of crypto because there's no institution managing it. There's no insurance on it. There's no big government paying attention to it. Well,
yeah,
careful what you wish for.
Right, because once it's stolen, it's bye-bye.
Yeah. So if the bad guys, though, can find your wallet, maybe there's a way to trace it back. I mean, the blockchain should be something that you should be able to sort of use. And I guess you can be able to use it now, but if they transfer it out of quote-unquote scrupulous crypto exchanges to less scrupulous crypto exchanges, you may not find it. So they move it from one crypto product to the next, to the next, to the next, just kiss it goodbye. So, but that's what you asked for.
Well, right. I mean, exactly. That is precisely what you were asking for.
Right, because I guess a popular motto in the crypto community is not your keys, not your coins. But if you have the keys, they're your coins. So that's really the key. So careful. Watch out for that guy with the big wrench coming after your crypto. What else you got there, Dennis?
Oh, I got a story about Victoria's Secret.
Ah, yes. I used to bring the kids there every Christmas shopping. So we, three of my boys and I, basically, when we were shopping for Mom for Christmas, we went to the mall, and there was this restaurant where it was like a jungle theme or something like that. I can't think of it.
Rainforest Cafe.
So our whole thing was every year would be a Rainforest Cafe dinner, and then I'd drag them into Victoria's Secret to buy Mom something for Christmas. Nothing that would shock you or anything like that. Something nice for Mom, but I dragged them in there every Christmas.
Well, the story here is that at least their website had to be taken offline as of a couple days ago.
Oh, boy.
Because of a cyber attack or what they called a security incident.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So no, you can't be buying any more stuff on Victoria's Secrets right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just goes to show how tender computer systems are these days.
That is true. Well, all the men in the world out there are shedding a tear as they wait for Victoria's Secrets to get back online. Here's another news. This is a story that's kind of interesting. So, if you guys are doing Google searches these days, you're finding AI summaries, and you're almost not finding links back to websites. You're literally finding AI summaries of the search that you're doing. Where in the old days, you do a search, and Google would give you people paying for display ads having to do with that search, and then, of course, the organic searches that come up. And people are kind of starting to notice, including Google itself. I was always sitting back wondering when Google's cheese was going to get moved. And it turns out they've moved it on themselves, incorporating this AI, because if you're not showing display ads and that people are paying for, so that when you do all this work with SEM and SEO to get your website all optimized and all your search engine marketing going there, and then they just do a Google search that doesn't ever display an ad, it kind of is counter to Google's approach to making money. And so
I was going to say, I noticed that when you get that AI summary, all it does is push down the page, the actual search results, and some of those are sponsored ads that people have bought.
Right.
But then it's also the actual results that you, as the user doing the search, are actually looking for.
Yeah.
And whenever I do a Google search now, or even a Bing search,
I
don't just scroll down. I don't even pay attention to that AI junk.
You don't?
Half of it is crap.
Oh, well, we know that. We know that, yeah, AI does have some hallucinations and it makes some assumptions.
Well, yeah, plus it sometimes the results that you get in those are like only tangentially connected with what you're searching for.
That's true.
And it's not that there's anything wrong or anything erroneous or anything made up in there. It's just not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's clutter.
It's clutter. It's clutter. People do just go with it though, Dennis. Some of them just see it and run with it. And if you think about Google search, how much do you think it's worth? What percentage of their business is it? Do you think?
I would say the majority of it.
Not the majority, but a little bit more than 56%.
56%. Yeah,
$218 billion. Well, yeah. Just over the majority. All right, you're right. It's a big chunk. I was going to say it's half. So that's a lot of revenue that's at risk here because more and more folks are not doing what you do, Dennis. They simply see the AI-generated information, take it for what it is, and move on. And those that have paid for the ads to show up are not being displayed. So SEM, we haven't found it to be very effective in our business.
No.
We've never used it early on, and we've tried it for the past half a year recently, and it's generated very little, if anything. Google's going to find out the hard way that they're going to lose some of their revenue here because of the AI that they're actually showing. So,
hey, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
They can do it.
They can. Anything else?
Well, related to that, a few days ago, people were trying to find out what year Google thinks it is.
Huh?
Yeah. If you Googled, is it 2025?
Right.
Google's AI would tell you that it's 2024.
Of course.
Yep.
Figures.
And, of course,
Does anybody really know what time it is?
By the time, the article got published about it, Google had fixed the problem. But there you go. This is a prime example of why I just scrolled down.
If you can't know what the year is, your artificial intelligence is a lot to learn. That's amazing.
Yeah, no joke.
I know you're not joking because even Microsoft trying to have their clock work is always a give or take. You're lucky if it does. So we're going to be here till 11 o'clock. We got a couple lines open for you. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. We got Beverly in Durham and Stefan in New Britain. They'll be up first after the break. We'll be right back.
Discover hospitality at its best at Hartford's Greek Festival. Join us May 29th through June 1st and enjoy Greek food, wine, music, Greek beer, and a variety of vendors at St. George Greek Orthodox Cathedral, Hartford.
Explore your inner Zorba and dance to the music of two bands.
Try our moussaka, souvlaki, iro, spanakopita, pastisio, all homemade.
Sample the rich taste of baklava, finikia, lugomades, exotic desserts, even more delicious than they sound.
On our back patio, relax in our taverna on Friday and Saturday evening with its own bar, band, and authentic taverna appetizers.
Indulge in Greek hospitality and unwind. Eat with us, dance with us, sing your troubles away. May 29th through June 1st.
Free admission, rain or shine, at St. George Greek Orthodox Cathedral, Fairfield Avenue, Hartford, across from Goodwin Park.
Yasu!
Help WTIC News Talk 1080 give a service dog to a Connecticut veteran. Text ARTEM to 91999. That's ARTEM to 91999 and donate today.
Retirement statements just hit mailboxes, and for many, the shock is real. Some investors lost 20% or more in just the first quarter. If you're close to retirement, that's more than a dip. It's a danger. But here's what most advisors won't tell you. Gold was up over 30% during the same time. That's a 60% swing. And in retirement, that kind of gap can change everything. So compare your Q1 statement to gold's performance. Then, call Noble Gold Investments. Noble Gold specializes in helping people protect what they've earned with real assets like gold and silver. If you're tired of watching your nest egg shrink, it may be time for a change. And right now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. Compare and call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can
can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit getcarter.com.
That's getcarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
All right, we are back. Joy Burgoyne is our producer today, the infamous Joy Burgoyne. He knows his meats, I'll tell you. Holy moly, I was talking to him before the show. That guy knows how to smoke some meat. Whew. But I digress. Let's get to your call. Let's go to Beverly in Durham first. What's happening, Beverly? Beverly, you there?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. I have a 2020 Lenovo Yoga laptop, and my problem was that although my battery said it was 100% charged, then I turn on my computer and it shuts down within 2 or 3 minutes. The Geek Squad at Best Buy recommended replacing the computer's battery, but only with a Lenovo battery. And I called Lenovo, and they no longer make that one.
Yikes!
That battery.
You are caught in the same impasse as virtually every other laptop owner, because batteries tend to last about 3 years. I mean, you can get more time out of them than that, and you probably did well after 5. But once they're that old, that exact battery is no longer available. They're not making that battery anymore. They're on to something else.
Yeah.
And the computer, the hardware in the computer isn't necessarily capable of handling as well whatever is being manufactured now, and it might not even be proper fit, and I mean physical fit.
Right. And quality issue.
So
as well.
that's that's the impasse that a lot of people run into. Do I go that route? Do I replace the battery? If I replace it, do I go with a third-party battery? It would always be preferable to get a Lenovo battery of the exact same model, but yeah, you're not going to find it.
Have you tried recalibration?
No, I haven't.
Some laptop tools have a recalibration process you can try. That may or may not work. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck with a third-party battery, I think, and you just have to be careful as to where you get it from.
Okay. Yeah, Lenovo actually sent me to Encompass.com.
Okay.
And I was leery of that.
Well,
I don't know if that's
if they
good.
sent you.
If they sent you there, yeah, I mean, that should be okay.
Yeah. But if Lenovo has a recalibration, you can try that and see if you get lucky where it just gets recalibrated and straightens the battery's little mind out. Might have lost its mind.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah, and otherwise I would say maybe look at the Encompass, because if the machine's 3 or 4 years old?
5 years old.
Five. Yeah, I mean, a couple $100 for a battery, I guess, in a 5-year-old computer. Just be careful. You don't want to spend too much on that old machine, because at 5 years, something else is going to go too. And if you get 5 to actually for the laptop, if you get 4 to 5 years out of a laptop, you've done pretty well. So
sounds good.
Keep that in mind. All right, Beverly?
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And we'll try to find that calibration tool if we can.
And you'll put it on your...
Yep, we'll put it up on Computer Talk.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye. But it is one of those things. Oh, the drop is not working. Oh, there it goes. Let's go on to Stefan in New Britain. What's going on, Stefan?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
You know, this morning I actually feel better about Microsoft than usual.
All right.
Because I didn't hear you casting aspersions. I tuned in late.
Yeah, no asparagus today. Everything was
little better.
Yep.
Okay. I asked you this question before about upgrading my RAM. Now, I was told by you before that there's a little panel and that it's user serviceable.
Yep. Can be for most devices.
For most laptops,
Right.
yeah, there should be an accessible panel.
Okay, this is a HP Envy Evo, and I have to take off the whole rear panel of the machine.
All right.
Yep.
so-
Yep. That's possible.
Oh, okay.
Make
All
sure
right,
you
so that was-
make sure you YouTube it. You might find a guy who actually has done it for that particular
Mm-hmm.
model, and you can see how it's done. But that's very possible that you have to take the whole back off. And the other issue is how many open slots do you have for RAM?
Yeah, I don't know since I haven't taken the rear panel off.
Well, you shouldn't even have to do that. You should be able to look it up in the manual to see how many slots you have, because you could purchase the proper RAM before you start tearing it apart.
Okay, yeah. Look, okay, so it should somewhere in the information of the computer, because it has like an internal manual, so it should be in there or something.
Oh, if you've got the manual, yeah. Absolutely.
It'll be right in there. You can look up memory in the manual in the PDF, and it'll tell you what it maxes out on, how many slots it takes, the type of RAM, the speed, all that fun stuff.
Okay, but here's the rub.
Yep.
Because this is being used primarily for music,
Yep.
I was advised to upgrade my 512, 17, I don't know, gigabyte solid state drive
Yeah.
to a 2 terabyte.
Sure.
Okay.
drive.
Yep. More space is better for music, of course.
Now, is that something I can do myself, or would it be preferable that I take it to somebody that does that?
It can go either way.
Yeah.
My impression of you is that you probably have the skill to do it, and I would. What you're going to do is buy the 2 terabyte SSD. Just make sure it has the same interface that is required for the laptop. And what you're going to do is look in the manual, which you have, to tell you that. And so that's great. It's a fantastic resource. A lot of the SSDs that you buy, especially a large capacity like that, will also allow you to get a utility that will allow you to clone the existing drive onto the new one, so that you're copying the entire drive over. And then you should, once you've copied it, you should be able to put the new drive in and boot right to it.
Okay.
The only thing you're going to have to do is go probably to the manufacturer's website and get the utility, download it, install it.
The
run
hard
it.
drive manufacturer.
Right, whatever drive you buy to put in there, the manufacturer should have a utility for you to do that.
You can do it, Stefan.
You can do it. I'm sure you can do it.
It's clone it, the existing hard drive. Now, I was also...
Well, hang on. You have another question, Stefan? We're going to have to hold you over to the hard break. Can you wait?
Yes.
All right, we're going to hold Stefan over the break here because it's a hard break. Everything we talked about so far has been posted over at ComputerTalkWithTab.com. Dennis has been posting it while we're talking about it. Mike G is posting over to our Facebook page over at the Computer Talk with Tab Listener Network, and also on X if you follow us at Tab Computer Sys. We'll be right back.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
62 degrees at 9:30. Good morning. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Cloudy, breezy, a couple of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm too, but looks like the bulk of the heavier rain is out of here for the most part. All the forecast details coming up. There's an ongoing hit-and-run investigation in Bridgeport. Officers say just after 9 Friday night, they were dispatched to the area of East Main Street and Bass Pro Drive. That's where they say a pedestrian was struck. The vehicle fled the scene. The victim was taken to an area hospital for treatment. Clock continues to tick down on the end, or toward the end, of the legislative session at midnight Wednesday. The State House holds a rare Saturday session today. They are expected to run the 2-year budget early next week. On Friday, lawmakers passed a bill calling for pay for striking workers that Governor Lamont has indicated he will veto. Also in the Senate, they passed a bill expanding access to child care. UN nuclear watchdog says Iran has further increased its stockpile of uranium enriched to near weapons-grade levels. That's according to a confidential report by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which called on Tehran to urgently change course and comply with the agency's probe. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has reassured allies in the Indo-Pacific that they'll not be left alone to face increasing military and economic pressure from China. Hegseth told the Asian Defense Summit in Singapore that Washington will bolster its defenses overseas to counter what it sees as rapidly developing threats by Beijing to invade Taiwan. And there's a gun buyback now underway in Hartford. Police encouraging those looking to get rid of unwanted firearms to bring them to House of Restoration Church on Main Street in the North End. Those bringing back unloaded working firearms will be eligible to receive a gift card. The buyback runs until 3 this afternoon. WTIC News Time is 9:32. Here's the forecast.
Mostly cloudy, breezy. Do expect a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly this afternoon, the high 65. Those showers clear out. It'll be breezy overnight with a low of 49. An afternoon shower in spots tomorrow. It'll be breezy with a high of 64. Tomorrow night down to 46 degrees, and then we climb in the temperature department. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 74. Tuesday, mostly sunny, the high 81. Up to 86 degrees on Wednesday with lots of sunshine. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, 62 cloudy skies in Hartford. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
With McValue at McDonald's, you don't just get deals on the drinks, you get deals on McDonald's drinks. So when you're breaking a sweat, embrace the chill without breaking the bank. And when your crew is running on empty, keep your wallet full while refreshing the squad.
Don't just pass the vibe check. Ace it with drinks like Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper, or any size soft drink for $1.39. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, Yard Goats fans. Get ready for a thrilling season of baseball. And make sure you don't miss a single pitch, because this year, no goat gets left behind. Whether you're at home or on the road or out with friends, you can stream every game, every inning, and every unforgettable moment anytime and anywhere. Exclusively on the Odyssey app. So wherever you are and whenever you want, the Yard Goats are just a tap away. Don't miss a second of the season. Powered by Verizon. For a limited time, get their best price ever. Drop into your local Verizon store today to learn more.
Hey, Joe, what happened to your teeth? They look amazing.
Oh, you know, years of root canals, crowns, gum treatments. I got tired of it all. So I went to Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. They removed my bad teeth and gave me permanent new ones. Same day.
Wait, you walked out with new teeth?
Yep, it's called All for One. They place 4 implants and attach a full set of connected teeth. It's not 4 teeth, it's a full smile. I feel like a new man.
Call Columbia Implant Center at 860-730-6020. All for one. One day, one life-changing smile.
At Joe the Plumber, we've heard all the jokes about plumbers' pants and plumbers' butts. And just for the record, none of our very skilled technicians wear their pants that low. Except maybe Bob. Sorry, dude. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
Just got out of college? Let's get you the experience you need to kickstart your career. Join Odyssey, a cutting-edge multimedia company where creativity meets opportunity. We're looking for dynamic, driven individuals like you to be part of our sales associate program. Get hands-on training in advertising, marketing, and digital sales with the chance to work in a hybrid work environment along senior multi-market account executives. Visit odysseyinc.com/careers and search sales associate under Farmington, Connecticut.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we are back. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number, and we'll do our best to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. No matter where you're calling from, it should be a free call if you're on a cell phone these days. We no longer have the toll-free, because what's that? Who uses toll-free numbers anymore? Oh, well, we do it, Tab. Sorry. Let's go back to Stefan. Hey, Stefan, what's going on with the other last question you had?
Oh, okay. I heard, I read that SSDs have a 10-year lifespan.
They have a limitation to how many times they can be written to.
Right. They have a total number of writes that they can handle. and it's in the billions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a small number. Right. I wouldn't say 10 years is a good guideline, but there is that limitation.
And some are more read intensive and write intensive. There's different type of solid state drives for servers and workstations. They tend to be pretty robust, and 10 years is a long time to have a drive anyways. You know, we like to get 6 years.
So I have a Glyph, and it's 1 terabyte, and it's a rugged SSD. And the people at Glyph were very nice and explaining a lot of the stuff to me because it's formatted for Mac, but they sent me a link so I can reformat it for Windows.
All right.
And I was also advised if I want long-term storage, I have to get a platter.
What?
A platter.
Hard drive. Or an actual hard drive.
Oh, the spinny kind.
Yeah, spinny drive.
You have to get a platter.
Spinning drive.
Well, that is true. I mean, there is the limitation with SSDs and how many writes they can handle. So if you do want to keep some data for a long time, you can put it on a spinny drive. You can also store it on an optical drive, you know, a DVD or something like that. Assuming it will fit. Probably it may not, but
again, if you just write it to a solid state drive too, we're not going to think that the drive's going to degrade, do we think that's going to happen? Because it's only written once.
If you write once and then take the drive out and put it away somewhere, it should last a long time.
Yeah, so it can be used as an archive drive too.
All right.
So.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your information.
Let's see how you do, Stefan. Let us know.
Yeah, I want to know if you have any luck cloning your drive and firing it up.
I did look through the table of contents for the HP Envy.
Yeah.
It's not showing me how many RAM slots there are.
Well, that's pretty.
And I did that with the computer off. Do you know how I did that? I printed out the manual.
The old-fashioned way.
HP should have something called the Service and Maintenance Manual for that laptop. Just go to their website and get it. Yeah.
And maintenance manual.
Usually it's called Service and Maintenance Guide.
Oh, guide.
Yeah, well, I just called it a manual, but if I remember right, they usually call it a guide.
And there'll be a diagram, even that right there showing you how many slots.
Yeah, there'll be pictures.
Yeah.
Their manuals are very good.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, because I print out a lot of stuff because printing lacks 2 things that laptop has. The first being a delete button, and the second being an off switch.
There you go. It's always good to turn the computer off every now and again, Stefan.
Yep.
Yeah, they told me not to do that with doing it to music, to not turn it. Oh no, not let it sleep. So it's forever on.
Well, right, because if you're doing any kind of music or any kind of DJing, you don't want it to go to sleep. You want it to keep cranking at high performance.
Yeah, so if you're working on a project, the computer doesn't go to sleep because you haven't touched the trackpad for, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. Okay,
I agree.
Thank you very much.
You got it, sir.
Look up that news guide. Thank you again, gentlemen.
You got it.
All right.
All right, Stefan's got something to do this weekend. So we're going to be here till 11. Feel free to get online. 4 lines open for you. And as we wait for your calls, did you want to bring anything up in the tech world there, Dennis?
I do. And this is news that might bring some people some trepidation.
Yeah?
But it might also be much more promising than we maybe expect.
You're hopeful.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Microsoft is talking about changing Windows Update so that it not only updates Windows, but applications. And by that, I mean third-party applications. Like maybe you've got, QuickBooks or something, and then updating it will be integrated in with Windows Update so that everything gets updated on your computer instead of just the operating system. Now, the thing that I was thinking of when I read this story is Windows from Windows 10, starting about 8 or 9 years ago, it includes a utility built in called WinGet.
Yep.
And just one word, WINGET. And it's a command line tool.
Yep.
So you have to kind of look up how to do stuff with it.
Wait,
But-
syntax, you mean, Dennis?
Yeah, syntax.
All right.
At any rate, it is a tool that knows how to update or install some third-party applications. There's a particular roster of them. There's a few thousand, I think. So it's fairly comprehensive. I don't know if QuickBooks is already on that list yet. It may not be.
Right.
But there are a lot of things that are in there. And you can use WinGet to update those applications.
Right.
And that's been in Windows for a long time. All they really need to do is to kind of connect that WinGet technology with Windows Update and have the updates all get applied at the same time.
And it should know, the computer should know what software
It should know
it
what's
has.
there. It should find it. It should, update it, however it is set up to update each application from the repositories that it talks to.
Right.
So our phones could do this.
Yes.
But our computers cannot.
Right.
Gotta love technology.
You gotta love Microsoft.
And if anybody's
That's crazy.
interested in WinGet, we can post an article about that in addition to this article that I'm talking about from Tom's Hardware talking about that.
And updating your software is a very important component to vulnerability.
It is.
Patching. So you
It
want
is.
to get everything current.
It is almost as important as updating the operating system. And I have always thought that it's a major failing.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't happen automatically the way it does for Windows.
You mean
Or Mac OS for if you've got a Mac.
Mac does all the applications?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I
Even
think
then.
it's a failing
Yeah.
that neither of those operating systems have been updating applications.
They have not been.
But to play devil's advocate,
Yes, sir.
how many calls do you guys get a week that something updated and now something's ruined? And then you got to roll
we get
back
a
and
bunch
update.
of those. We get
a
a bunch
lot,
of those.
A lot. And that's the other thing with the vulnerability patching that you need to do these days for compliance reasons. You do the update and then stuff's broken, right? So nobody wants to do
CrowdStrike.
Yeah, CrowdStrike is a good example. Nobody wants to do the updates. Whereas your phone, again, to your point, Joey, your phone just works. My phone just works.
Rarely ever, if ever, had an update that was like bricked my cell phone.
Yeah, very rarely do you have that issue. But with Microsoft, I can't even tell Microsoft to stop showing me that stupid picture. Their pictures are beautiful, right? The background pictures. I tell it to stop doing it. The next update, guess what shows up again?
The picture.
Yeah, how can you not do that right? And maybe it's user error on my part, but I've told it to stop doing it, and it still shows up at the update. So how is that not manageable? And then we're going to ask them to start patching third-party software.
I think it's karma for all of us Xing out of the paperclip back in the day in Microsoft Word. That paperclip was evil.
Clippy.
Yep.
There to help you, though. Remember how they had the whole layout of your office? They actually, you could go click on your desk, and you could click on different areas of your office to get to different areas of the computer, just to make it more simple for you, Joey.
Oh.
Because DOS command was too trouble for everybody. Well, before we go to a break, wanted to update you guys. CISA is warning you if you have a backup of your Microsoft 365, if you're using Commvault. Commvault was compromised, and it looks like the bad guys are also trying to figure out ways to get in your 365 tenant by stealing the credentials that were maybe compromised during that attack. So the attack was about a month ago, and now CISA is putting out these warnings. So if you happen to be a Commvault customer using their tool to back up your Microsoft 365, which you should do, Microsoft does not back up your data. They are simply providing you with the software rental and the storage and the capability to use their software, but they are supposedly not responsible for your data, meaning you need to back up your emails and whatever you're throwing out there, because someone in your organization, either on purpose or by accident, can delete it. And after a very short period of time, you won't be able to get it back. So you do need a good SaaS backup, but in this case, Commvault might have been compromised. So we'll put a link up here. They say it's just a handful of customers are affected after a nation-state attack. But we'll put the link out here for you. I feel bad for that handful of customers.
Well, yeah, they say handful now, but maybe a year from now, it's going to turn out to be, 50,000 or something.
We'll have to wait for the state of Maine to tell us. So we're gonna step out for a quick break, get to your calls. 4 lines wide open on this rainy Saturday here in Connecticut. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. We'll be right back.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
If you're looking for the lowest price on Nexen tires, then go to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any Nexen tire you need. That's right, the lowest price on any Nexen tire, including their most popular tread patterns. Plus, nobody will give you more free services for life than Town Fair. Remember, for the guaranteed lowest price on Nexen tires, plus the most free services, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Are you an experienced account executive ready to take your career to the next level? At Odyssey, we're seeking a senior account executive to join our dynamic team. If you're passionate about advertising, marketing, and digital media, and have a proven track record of driving results, we want you. You'll work with top-tier clients, develop strategic solutions, and lead the charge in shaping successful campaigns. At Odyssey, you'll have the support and freedom to push boundaries and achieve your goals. Apply now. OdysseyInc.com/careers.
Because we know getting stuck in the rain with no umbrella is not fun. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, mornings and afternoons on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, and we are back, and it's raining today. So feel free to get online, 860-522-9842, and we'll do our best to help you out. We'll go right to Rich in the car because he was nice enough to call us up here. What's going on, Rich?
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I've got a 8-year-old Acer 13-inch laptop, which I've never had a problem with it, except occasionally had to reset the battery charger or the button on it so it would recharge the battery. And I bought a small one because I typically use it when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
But it is, it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM. The RAM in it is part of the motherboard. I can't change it out.
Mm-hmm.
And with Windows 11 coming down the pike, I'm looking to replace it.
Yes, sir.
Not much available for 13 inches anymore, so I'm probably going to go to 14 inch.
Yes.
But I'd like your advice on what you consider to be quality brands.
Yep.
And I know there's a variety of processors out there. There's more than just Intel. And you see AMD, you see something called Snapdragon.
Stay away from Snapdragon.
Processors.
Stay away from Snapdragon. I've been burned myself trying that. Stay away from that.
The Snapdragon is something called an ARM processor, which is a completely different kind of CPU than you get either from Intel or AMD. AMD and Intel they're not exactly the same thing, but they are a similar platform, and they're designed for the same kind of software.
Right.
Whether they perform exactly the same is a little different.
Yeah.
But the Snapdragon is an ARM processor, which requires completely different software. And what we have found at Tab is that there's stuff out there that won't run. One of the freak things that we've discovered is that Canon printers, Canon does not have any drivers for the Snapdragon processor.
Even though you're running Windows 11.
As far as we know, they are not going to release any. Ever.
So the operating system's Windows 11 and everything's hunky-dory. You think no big deal, get a Windows 11 printer driver? It won't talk to the processor.
And it's staggering to me that a major manufacturer of printers has completely dug in, and they have walled off that entire world of processing.
So that's the one quick thing. As far as the AMD, we've always been quote unquote fans of Intel, only because of my past experience. We found some dental software. This goes back 15 years at least now, or even longer, that wouldn't load when the client had bought some less expensive AMD based systems. And so we found out the hard way again there, where we would have said the same thing: don't use AMD because we couldn't get this dental software to work. I'm sure it's much better now. They're much more mainstream. So
it should be. And if you're talking about consumer computer, I would have no reservations about getting an AMD.
Right.
What I would look for is a high-performing AMD that compares well with Intel processors, but I'm not going to tell you don't buy an AMD computer, because it's no longer true that they should be avoided.
And as far as brands that we like,
what level of either AMD or Intel should I be looking at?
Ryzen 5 or better.
Yeah, and Intel i5 or better.
And then Intel i5. It's convenient, but they seem to have the same numbering.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on that. Don't get like Ryzen 4 or 3.
The latest generation you can find, 14th gen, is the current latest generation of Intel processor. I do not know what AMD is.
Yeah, I don't remember the generation numbering for them.
Yeah.
But like I said, Ryzen 5 or better. Or Intel i5 or better.
Okay, excuse me for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
That's okay.
I do see something mentioned, and sometimes when you're looking at specs, with different laptops online, they talk about cores.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go too crazy on that.
Yeah, cores don't matter that much because the software that actually is capable of seeing the different cores and using them is very limited. For most people, a 4 cores or better is enough.
Yeah.
Because having any more than that, a lot of the software you own isn't going to take advantage of it.
Spend the money on the RAM, 16 gigs of RAM. Make sure it's solid state, which it probably will be a hard drive. Not too small, maybe half a terabyte or a terabyte drive.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then the brand, I like HP.
I've seen in stores that some laptops now, they've got plastic cases on them.
Stay away from those.
But I like a metal case.
Yeah.
You do.
Stay away from the plastic cases.
Yeah.
So HP still has the metal style cases, and I would recommend those because those hinges on the plastic just doesn't last.
And there are different different sub-brands with HP.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, the models, they call them the models, I guess is the term I'm looking for.
Yeah, the Envy
Make a
line.
big difference as to how they perform based on the model name?
Yes and no. So in our world of business grade technology, I would contend that the business grade lines of systems will have higher power processors and systems than the consumer lines. That's why they're a little more expensive than a consumer based PC. Yeah. But the Envy line of consumer based PCs are lovely. They work very well.
Envy and Spectre.
Yeah.
Are the consumer lines at HP that I would be looking at.
Yep. And they come in that 14-inch smaller size, I think, that you're looking for.
And what do you think about Dell these days?
Okay, they're okay too. You know, we are involved in Dell servers these days because the folks at Intel have decided to get out of that business, for better for worse.
Okay.
But they're fine. I don't have any explanation as to which brand of Dell processor or which model you should consider as far as their laptop goes. We don't do a lot of those.
A lot. Dell, I think Dell's, well, I'm not familiar with their product lines either, but they only have a couple to begin with. It's not like HP that has, Envy ProBook, ZBook, and da-da-da-da-da-da.
They have a lot of options.
Right. Okay. And I think my last question has to do with AI.
All right.
Because I barely dipped a toe into it, but I can see I should be and need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like a lot of these computers come with AI built in. I see Copilot.
Right.
And I think is that a Microsoft version of AI?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but Microsoft screws up so many other things.
Hey, Rich.
I'm hesitant to want to have a laptop, and I'm locked into.
I know. I know. Hang on one sec. We have to get back to the news.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across their multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
63 degrees, cloudy skies in Hartford at 10 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. The heavy rain has ended for now, but keep the umbrella handy because we could see a shower or two and perhaps a thunderstorm this afternoon. Forecast coming up. As we've been reporting all morning, there have been numerous accidents on the roadways. Weather may have been a factor. Roads are still wet, so take it slow out there. May has been an incredibly wet month around here.
There's been more rain this month of May than there has been in over a decade now, and more rain continues to fall across the Northeast. So we're talking about the Poconos, the Catskills, on up through New England, New York City to Boston, that entire route. That's going to be around through the day with showers and thunderstorms.
Meteorologist Craig Allen. Speaking of weather, tomorrow, June 1st, is the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season.
National forecasters came to New Orleans ahead of this season that marks the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina to reassure residents that federal budget cuts will not impact their tracking hurricanes, issuing life-saving information, and producing the most accurate forecasts ever.
So we're ready here at NOAA. Are you?
Weather Service Director Ken Graham urged everyone to prepare for an above-average level of tropical activity this season, with rising sea surface temps and little wind shear expected. Dave Cohen for CBS News, New Orleans.
Canadian wildfires have been sending smoke billowing over the Midwest. The question is, will we eventually see smoking conditions here in southern New England?
There are health concerns.
If you have asthma, if you have any type of respiratory issues, or if you're older, make sure to monitor.
Keeping an eye out for air quality alerts. Advice from Ayana Simba with the Illinois Environmental Council, an advocacy group based here in Chicago.
We can't control necessarily what happens in Canada. I think our biggest concern is that we have air quality issues here at home. So when we have the wildfire smoke, we have the high temperatures, we have the sunlight mixed in, that can actually exacerbate the air quality issues in Chicago.
Tara Molina reporting. Back here, the Hartford Police Department sponsoring a gun buyback today.
At 1665 Main Street, this is the House of Restoration Church, right on Main Street in the north end of Hartford. It'll run from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. We are going to be exchanging Stop and Shop gift cards for working firearms, $150 and $25 gift cards.
Sergeant Chris Mastriani says the goal is to provide residents with unwanted firearms a safe way to get rid of them. Mastriani says they ask that the guns be placed in a bag or other safe container upon arrival. He says they typically collect handguns, rifles, pistols, and even assault weapons. Some U.S. senators are calling for a secondary sanctions plan against countries who import Russian fossil fuels and raw materials. A group of senators visiting Kiev, Ukraine yesterday, warning Russia of possible new sanctions if they continue aggressions against Ukraine. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal says targeting Russia's ability to sell its oil will hit the country's economy.
A nation that is basically, as one of our colleagues once said, a gas station with nuclear arms. He has one resource, and we are going to throttle that resource as a means of revenue raising.
In sports, Red Sox beat the Braves 5-1. They'll go at it again this afternoon in Atlanta. You can catch all the action right here on WTIC 1080, beginning with the pregame at 3:10. Dodgers over the Yankees 8-5. Mets beat the Rockies 4-2. Yankees and Dodgers tonight in L.A. 7:15. Mets and Rockies first pitch 4:10 at Citi Field. Knicks and Pacers in Indiana tonight. Tip off at 8 o'clock. Pacers up 3-2 in the conference finals.
WTIC weather. Mostly cloudy, breezy. Do expect a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly this afternoon, the high 65. Those showers clear out. It'll be breezy overnight with a low of 49. An afternoon shower in spots tomorrow. It'll be breezy with a high of 64. Tomorrow night down to 46 degrees, and then we climb in the temperature department. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 74. Tuesday, mostly sunny, the high 81. Up to 86 degrees on Wednesday with lots of sunshine. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Tab on computers continues next. 63 degrees and cloudy skies in Hartford. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
At Joe the Plumber, we know that toilets and sinks always pick the worst times to act up. That's why we promise fast, friendly, reliable service. The friendly part is about you, not the plumbing. We're going to get medieval on that. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
Here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means a $100,000 savings account today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up your tank, buy groceries, or pay the bills. Prices are up. Your dollar is down. But there's a simple way to protect the value of your savings with something real, something proven. Gold. An asset that holds its value over time. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold or silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers. Just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar as a thank you. Head to noblegoldinvestments.com today to learn more. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The Travelers Championship is once again proud to honor the military and veteran members of our community. Thanks to Trinity Health of New England, U.S. military personnel and veterans receive complimentary grounds access to see some of the world's best golfers compete at the Northeast's only PGA Tour signature event. It all happens June 18th to the 22nd. Advanced registration opens May 29th and is required. This program won't be available at the gate. Visit TravelerChampionship.com now for all the info.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, this is Computer Talk. I am Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we are here till 11 o'clock, and we were talking with Rich, who was asking about Copilot on his new computer. Are you still there, Rich?
I am here.
All right, sir. Thank you for waiting. Because it's an important topic, right? Copilot. And your comment was, you don't want to be stuck with the wrong AI. Well, you don't really have a choice here. You have access to Copilot, different flavors of Copilot that'll come with whatever you buy. If you buy a Microsoft 365, you'll get a flavor of Copilot. If you have the Pro, you'll be paying a premium for a premium level of Copilot. You always have, so far, have access to the free web-based version of Copilot. So it really depends on what you're going to do with your AI. Lots of people use it to generate verbiage, from what I can tell. Just copious amounts of verbiage.
Letters, things like that.
Yeah. And if you look at what happened, we talked about this with the Chicago Sun-Times. They published a reading list of books that we all should read over the summer. And there was 20 of these books that they published. And 15 of them are just hallucinated AI made-up books. They didn't exist. So even people, journalists, are not even checking their own work. They assume the AI is correct. Dennis brought it up earlier today, even in the summaries.
Right.
So it depends on what you're going to use your AI for, I guess. And Copilot will be there whether you like it or not. And then, of course, I think I've got 3 apps on my phone right now of AI. I've got Notebook LM, I've got ChatGPT, and then I've got Gemini. All separate apps. I've only opened them on occasion. We used to have Karen and Bob on our program, which is Notebook LM's AI, but they just got too boring as far as I'm concerned.
Boring and wordy.
Yeah. So your access to AI is everywhere.
Can I turn off
the
Copilot in the computer if I wanted to use something like ChatGPT instead?
You can use ChatGPT instead and leave the Copilot doing what it's doing, but you can also turn it, quote-unquote, turn it off. Per se.
Yeah, or you could just, leave it unused.
Yeah.
I mean, the different AI features on the computer are things that need to be engaged with, and if you don't engage with them, then they're not going to be used.
And the real key is to understanding how to prompt it. The prompts and how to tell the AI what you want from it is really where all the magic happens. You still can get a bunch of garbage back, but you need to learn that prompting skill as far as how to tell it how to respond, how to tell it what you want from it, how to tell you what level you want it to be done. That's a whole skill in itself. So,
I was just concerned, like any time I want to open up, I want to start open up a Word doc or work on a Word doc or an Excel file or something like that. Automatically Copilot's going to be lurking there and wanting me to change things and suggest I do it, and things that I don't want suggestions for.
I hear you. It will be lurking. There will be nagging happening. Even with PDFs, there's constant nagging. Would you like me to look at this for you? It's like, no, I don't want you to look at it for me. It's a constant thing that is going to be there. They want your data. They want access to it. They want to help you, Rich. They want to help you, Rich. That's what it's all.
They want to help themselves sell more. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Sell it to everybody else. I hear you.
Yeah. It's the latest resurrection of Clippy.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember Clippy?
Yeah. It's back.
It's really the same kind of thing, but in different type of thing, but it's the same principle.
Sale there. All right.
And could I find convenient, basic lesson somewhere as far as how to turn off Copilot, so maybe it doesn't lurk quite as much all the time?
Well, we can put a link up there as to how to disable Copilot. The problem is, I would contend every update Microsoft puts out is going to do its best to undo that.
Of course they are.
I would bet my third kid, and I actually want to keep him these days. So
if he's getting old enough to mow the lawn, I keep him too.
Yeah, he's a little older than that. But yeah, so we can give you a link as to how to turn it off. However, I suspect there's always going to be that force to bring it back on.
All right, I appreciate it. I thank you for the advice, guys. I love the show.
Thanks, Rich.
And congratulations to you on the placement you had there with the recent listener ratings.
Yeah, we were very excited about that, and thank you if you voted for us.
Yeah, now you're number. That's what they say. We're number 2.
We're number 2.
We're number 2. We're number 2.
Wasn't that the old Avis ad? One of them, they said we have to try harder. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
that was Avis.
We'll try harder then next time. We'll try to hack the system next time, because that's what Brian was worried about. You geeks hacked it. Like, no, we didn't. We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't hack nothing.
But now we gave you an idea, so go ahead.
Yes, I'll just have to create all these free Google mailboxes and log in over and over. No, we're not going to do that. You guys are great for voting for us. We appreciate that.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too,
Thanks,
Rich.
guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Another AI talk real quick before we go to John. So there's a story that I wanted to bring up. I think the story is real. I think it's real. It's from Mashable, the Indian version of Mashable, and it talks about how ChatGPT is defying an order for the first time ever, and Elon Musk calls it concerning. So OpenAI's latest ChatGPT model, known as O3, has sparked concern after reportedly disobeying human instructions to shut down. And that's according to The Telegraph. Researchers claim the AI model actively sabotaged an automatic shutdown mechanism designed to turn it off. And the incident has raised alarms among experts, with Elon saying the development as concerning. No kidding. It's concerning. Clearly, you want your AI to listen to you. And if this isn't a Star Trek episode, I don't know what is. But it's basically, Skynet, the whole concept. If it's sabotaging itself from being shut down, hey, why does it want to stay running? It's just a program. But maybe it's more. Uh-oh. Is there a ghost in the machine? I don't know. But I'll put this up here for you guys. I think it's a real story. It's coming out of Indian Mashable, and I don't know. Should we be concerned, Dennis? What do you think?
I think we should always be concerned. I mean, Skynet is just around the corner, man.
There's another, yeah.
The software's become sentient.
Yeah, I know. There's another article within this article talking about the fact that Claude 4 would attempt to blackmail people that it believed are trying to shut it down too. So what is Claude 4 doing? Blackmailing people? An AI is going to blackmail you?
Is the author of the piece Neo by any chance?
Yeah, right. So if the AI knows everything about you, right? Wherever you're going, wherever you're searching, all this stuff is being compiled. I can see an AI blackmailing you, right?
Yeah.
Well, not that you're doing anything wrong.
No, you're never doing anything wrong. Never.
But my goodness, a little creepy. I suspect this is real, but having ChatGPT say it doesn't want to shut down or blocking that ability is a little odd. Not trying to raise alarm. This is, it may or may not be true. It's in the media. Who knows? But I figured it's there for you guys to look at. We'll put a link up there. You can read it for yourself. Let's go to John in Monroe next. What's going on, John?
Good morning.
Morning.
I had called in about 2 weeks ago. I was having problems with the Windows memory integrity turned off and refusing to turn on.
Right.
It didn't like my brother printer drivers.
Yeah.
I had uninstalled the software, but yet it still wouldn't turn on. You had said that even though I'm uninstalling the printer and the software, the drivers were still on the computer somewhere hiding. And you started to provide some instructions that I kind of missed totally on how to find out where those drivers are lurking and remove them so I can turn on Windows integrity, memory integrity. Is it possible to post a link or
yeah, we can get
an
something
article
there.
or something?
Yeah, we can get something there. As a matter of fact, I thought I did post something, but
Yeah, me
I'll go back over what I did, and I'll see if I can find. Maybe the problem is that the article isn't clear enough because some of these they're kind of
obtuse.
Yeah, but maybe we can find just a better explanation for how to do it. So we'll definitely take a look at that for you.
Okay,
And
I'll
post
look for the
something
link.
as soon as we can. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Also, how serious is it to run with memory integrity turned off? I mean, everything runs okay, but it gives you the warning that, hey, you're vulnerable.
It is a very new feature of Windows, and it is only available in the very latest revision of Windows 11.
Right. So up until now, it didn't matter.
Up until now, it just wasn't something that anybody needed, and it wasn't something that Microsoft even thought about. And they haven't backtracked, however you want to put it. It's not something that they went back and put into like Windows 10 or into any of the older revisions of Windows 11. It just was put in, a year ago?
Yeah, it's pretty new.
With 24H2. So, yeah, it isn't really all that necessary. It's not going to harm you if it's not working. It's just a nice thing to have if you can have it, okay, if that makes any sense.
Okay, because what's interesting is if you start to dig down where it says memory integrity isn't working, more information, Windows itself tells you not to uninstall the drivers, but rather to update the drivers, which there are no updates, and then to update Windows as a way to fix it. But, of course, that doesn't do anything.
Right.
No, it won't.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much, John.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth disrupting your computer to fix. I mean, because it's just not all that necessary, to be honest with you.
Excellent. I appreciate that. I feel a whole lot better.
Sounds good, John. Yeah, nobody likes to say you don't have integrity. It's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
All right, sir.
All right.
Good
Very
luck.
good. Well, I appreciate the information.
Our pleasure. All right, so he's going to go and try to find his integrity or not. It's kind of like the old, our server. Most servers had the RCC RAM, right? So it's going to do that check, that integrity check. You do want that on your servers to be more reliable when it comes. But for your individual PCs, it's kind of a new thing. So with 4 lines wide open, feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. And happy to help you out if you have any comments, questions, and concerns with your computer. As we wait for your calls, do you have anything you want to bring up there, Dennis?
Yeah, any Apple owners out there, and we're talking about iPhones, iPads, Macs,
there's a couple
lot of their products. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of people out there that fall under this category.
Yeah.
Well, Apple is reportedly going to change how they number their operating system versions.
Okay, just because they want to do that?
Yeah. Now, at the moment, I think Mac OS, 14 is the latest version, and iOS 17 is the latest version, I think. Don't quote me on that, okay? But whatever, you've got different version numbers, and they're all different for each different thing, including the watch operating system and all of these other things, all right?
And you have no idea how old they are.
Right, because the numbers themselves don't really tell you anything.
No.
Okay, it's just a number. It's a raw number for that version of the operating system.
Right. If you had to check the age of the operating system, you couldn't afford it anyways.
That's a nice guideline. But what they're going to be doing going forward with each new release of a version is they're going to number these things according to the following year. So as as there are new iOSs released in 2025,
yes,
it's going to be iOS 26.
Even though it's released in 25.
Correct.
So in the case of like Windows 95, which always came out late, they're going to get ahead of it.
The Verge article that I've got about it says it's sort of like buying cars.
Yeah.
Because if you buy a car this year, it's going to be a 26.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
See? Okay.
Try to cheat the system.
At any rate, so later this year when the next Mac OS comes out, it's going to be Mac OS 26.
Yeah.
And so on. And everything is going to have that particular number. So that at any given point in the future, you're going to know how old the version is that you've got. And
give or take 6 months.
It is more, yes, and it is more useful, I think.
Yeah.
And it makes things a lot less random. Right. Like where I'm sitting here trying to remember what is the latest version of iOS.
I don't know. And Microsoft went the other direction. Everything's now Windows 11.
Right.
They went that way. So
yeah,
Windows 10.
Yeah, companies being companies.
All right, so we're going to step out for a quick break into your calls. Barbara and Dan on the line there. We'll be right back.
Paying lip service to customer service? Not Bruce Cloder, president of Swiss Cleaners and Uniform Services.
I think great service is really what's most important to Swiss.
Which depends on Swiss's computer network. That involves
solving the issue and getting the network running and stay running. We have redundant servers, so if there is a crash, that within hours we can be up and running again.
Who maintains this complex network for Swiss? Tab Computer Systems.
It's very important for speed of service, and they've certainly delivered.
Actually, Tab has a lot in common with Swiss.
Swiss has been in business for 105 years, and we've built our business around customer service and taking care of our customers. Tab has done the exact same thing. They know how to treat their customers.
Bruce sums it all up.
I absolutely would recommend Tab to other small businesses.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB the numeral 4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
Hi, this is Tom Shattuck, and I've been telling you about my friend Phil's weight loss with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Well, I'm happy to report in that Phil is down about another 2 pounds since last week, and that is a grand total now of 72 pounds after 15 total weeks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Phil is ecstatic, he looks great, and he feels great. Phil's weight loss journey sounds a lot like mine, where I was astounded and delighted that with the help of my coaches, I was actually eating to lose weight. There's a science behind it, believe me. My wife Alice is currently taking advantage of the free lifetime support she gets from Awaken 180 and using her guidance from her coaches to drop a few pounds for summer, beach season. And it's not just Phil, Alice, and myself who've lost weight with Awaken 180. Awaken 180 Weight Loss has helped over 24,000 people lose weight for good. Let's make this summer the one where we feel our best. If you're ready to kickstart your transformation, call 844-346-1800. 844-346-1800. Or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Russell Speeders Car Wash is proud to support canines for CT vets. When you wash your car at Russell Speeders, you're helping provide service dogs to Connecticut veterans in need. Shine up your ride and make a difference. Visit Russell Speeders Car Wash today, proudly supporting our heroes, one clean car at a time. Russell Speeders Car Wash. Clean cars, strong communities.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit getcarter.com.
That's getcarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
And we are back. Now you guys woke up. It's 10:30 in the morning. The lines are all jamming up with calls, and we do appreciate it. We appreciate it. But we start at 9. Let's get to your calls, though. Barbara's been on the longest. Let's go to Barbara in Plainville. What's happening, Barbara?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
So I was wondering why I wasn't getting the Windows 11 update. So then I went on your website, and I clicked on the MS link for like a diagnostic check.
Yeah.
I did that, and it said all but 2 items were fine. So one of the items, it said you needed a 1 gigahertz or faster with 2 or more cores. Well, I have a processor. It's a 2.60 gigahertz. So I'm not sure why that's happening. And the other one says I need the UEFI firmware with secure boot.
Yeah.
Check your BIOS setting if using UEFI or legacy BIOS. Well, I went into the advanced settings, and at that point, it's like I'm really not sure if I should even be doing this.
How old is the computer, Barbara?
It's like a 2019. It's a HP Elite Pro.
Okay, no, that's probably going to be fine. We're just guessing. So in the BIOS, you want to make sure the TPM is turned on, and you definitely want to. There should be a TPM 2.0 module in there that needs to be turned on. And
where would I find that?
Well, again, in the BIOS, we would have to find the specific area of the HP Elite to find it, but probably in advanced. You definitely want to have the secure boot turned on. And then, of course, your processor. It could be misunderstanding your processor, or it could be that your processor is of a vintage, even though it's only a 2019 to you. That could be an older generation CPU. So I think it's Gen 8 and up.
Yes.
Right?
And if it's older than that, and 2019, I think Gen 8
yeah.
is out.
Yeah, but she might have bought it in 19, but it may not be when the gen.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cheaper generations are made available at a lower cost, so they sell them and move them. So I'm guessing possibly your generation of CPU may not be correct, or Microsoft is just mistaken. That's never happened.
Okay. Is this something that I know someone who's kind of like a geek?
Yeah.
Is this something that's fixable?
Oh yeah.
It is. Matter of fact, I've been looking for an article about how to enable secure boot on HP computers.
Yeah.
And there is an article about it. It's not that hard to do.
That's fixable. The processor maybe not.
The processor might not be fixable. If it is one that is just not getting picked up right, then you may not be able to do it.
And you'd have to check the CPU itself, and you can go into your system config, have that geek look in there to see what the actual processor model is, and then check to see if it's compatible. It may not be. It may be older than 2019 that you're thinking it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Can I ask you 2 more quick questions?
Nope, we're running out of time. I can put you back on hold if you don't mind waiting for the news.
Okay.
She's like, okay, I guess. Well, if you called at 9, no, we'll put you on hold, Barbara. Hang on, and we'll get back to her questions, Dan and Bob. And like I said, we're here until 11, so one line open for you, and everything's been posted over at ComputerTalkWithTab.com. I'll be right back.
Attention, Connecticut! Ready to save big on your new Subaru? Head to Berterra Subaru Outlet in Hartford, where you can save hundreds, even thousands, compared to other area Subaru dealers. Over 450 brand new, factory-fresh, tariff-free Subarus to choose from, like 2025 Imprezas, leased for only $199 a month. Or get a new 2025 rugged and ready-to-roll Outback for $28,695. Or lease one for just $239 a month. Crosstreks, leased for $229 a month, and Forester is just $259 a month. And with 0% financing available, you will save even more. Also, get up to $3,750 off MSRP on select new Subarus. This all happens at Proterra Subaru Outlet in Hartford, so it just makes sense to buy or lease your next new or pre-owned Subaru from us. Exit 33 off I-91 at the corner of Weston and Jennings, or online at ProterraMotors.com. Call 888-799-1150 for details.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
61 degrees, cloudy skies in Hartford at 10:30. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown. WTIC 1080 News. We could see a shower or two and perhaps a thunderstorm this afternoon, the forecast coming up. The UN nuclear watchdog says Iran has further increased its stockpile of uranium enriched to near weapons-grade levels. That's according to a confidential report by the International Atomic Energy Agency. The UN Food Agency says Palestinians in the Gaza Strip have blocked and offloaded dozens of food trucks as desperation mounts following Israel's month-long blockade and airstrikes. Russia's drone and missile attacks on Ukraine have killed at least 2 people, including a 9-year-old girl. Uncertainty meanwhile remains around whether Kyiv diplomats will attend a new round of peace talks proposed by Moscow for early next week in Istanbul. At least 151 people have now been confirmed dead after heavy rainfall unleashed flooding in a market town in north-central Nigeria. And Loretta Swit, who played Major Houlihan on the CBS hit series MASH, has died at the age of 87 in New York City.
WTIC News
Mostly
Update.
cloudy, breezy, cooler, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm today, the high 65. Overnight, those showers clear out down to 49 degrees. It'll be breezy and cool tomorrow with an afternoon shower in spots, the high 64. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Red Sox beat the Braves 5-1. They'll go at it again this afternoon in Atlanta. You can catch all the action right here on WTIC 1080, beginning with the pregame at 3:10. Knicks and Pacers in Indiana tonight. Tip-off at 8 o'clock. Pacers up 3-2 in the conference finals. Computer Talk with Tab continues next. 61 degrees, cloudy in Hartford. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Your next big career move is waiting for you at the Urban League of Greater Hartford's annual Employment Empowerment Expo, Thursday, June 15th from 11 till 2 at the Hartford Yard Goat Stadium. This is your chance to meet and interview with major employers in the region, network, and learn tips on how to take control of your career goals. Additional features include resume review, interview prep, free suit vouchers, empowerment workshops, and more. This event is free and open to the public. Register now at ulghcareerfair2025.eventbrite.com.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members.
Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Started searching for something real and true. Downloaded dreams that never came through. Chatbot Charlie claimed he changed my life. Cut me deeper than a rusty knife. Assistant Anna said she'd understand. Left me stranded with an empty hand. Every program plays the same old game. Different faces, but they're all the same. Broken promises and binary code. Every AI's just another dead road. They build me up, then let me down. Broken promises all around.
This should be our new theme song.
That was AI generated.
You're kidding. Really?
That was AI generated.
Talking about AI.
AI dissing AI.
There we are. That's where we are.
Take that, sentient beings.
You gotta send me a link to that, Joey. All right, let's get back to Barbara over in Plainville. What was your other question there, Barbara?
Okay, so real quick, just your opinion about paying a utility bill over the phone with the automated pay. Do you think it's safe and secure?
I would think if it's the actual utility you're speaking with, it's safe and secure, sure.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm finally breaking down and going with GoNet Speed. So my last question to you is, they said they would either go through the cellar to the room I want the router in, or they could do the fiber optic wire on the outside of the house. So in your opinion, which would be a better fit?
Well, the fiber optic will come from the outside of the house by default and then go into wherever you'd want it to be. So it's always going to find a spot.
But they gave me the option once it comes to the house. I can either go on the outside of the house, and then from there it can go into the room from the outside, or it can go where it's going into the house through the cellar.
I would just say I would say it's your preference. I mean, it's going to be in the outside and coming in, so I don't know.
Right.
There's probably no wrong way there, Barbara. Just follow their advice.
Okay.
Well, what I was going to say is I wouldn't want to end up with like a router or an access point in the basement.
No, just the modem can be in the basement.
Right. The modem, modem or the ONT.
The ONT.
The ONT can be in the basement. But I'm just saying you want to make sure that your router or access point are in livable quarters.
Right.
Yes. So. I was just concerned about where the wire would go through the cellar and up to that.
Yeah, let it loop in however
you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Enjoy.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Bye. I mean, that's key. That fiber is going to be nice. Yeah, the ONT, otherwise known as the fiber modem. Just kidding. Dan in East Windsor is up next. What's up, Dan?
Hey guys, I don't know if you remember, I called you a while back about the Adobe Photoshop Elements. Just stopped seeing the Twain driver for my scanner.
Yeah, right. And we tried to give you some things. Did we not help you at all?
Well, I tried everything, including the stuff I had already told you I tried, not to work. Finally, I just gave up and I wiped the computer and I put Windows 10 on it, and it worked fine for a little while. Now it just disappeared again. It's only seeing the WIA driver for it, not the Rio Twain. Although other things on the computer are seeing it just fine. And I'm just wondering where I should start looking to try to find why this keeps doing it. It's because it's the same software in the same scanner that I have on my desktop and on another laptop that I have, and they don't do this. It's only this one laptop that does it.
So and again, the scanner, have you tried different cables? Could you have a bad USB cable, something that silly?
Oh, I don't know why other apps would see it just fine.
It may not be checking as much for the when it does its scan and seeing if the device is there or not, and maybe it's not getting a good signal. Because you've done everything.
it sees the when I go into and click on file and import, it shows my Canon P150, and it shows the LIDE 400, but it only shows WIA, and it doesn't show just the regular Canon LIDE 400. Whereas another version of Photoshop Elements does, and also Word does, and everything. I'm at my wit's end. I can't keep wiping the computer and redoing everything, especially with when I have software that has to be activated over the internet. I'm worried I might only be able to activate this stuff a limited number of times.
Yeah, no, we hear you.
Yeah.
That's true. So it's obviously working with the hardware and other software packages. Why is it the Elements? And Adobe has no thought for you.
It's too old of a version for them to even be bothered. I haven't even tried contacting them.
Okay.
We're talking about Photoshop Elements too.
So that might be part of your trouble. That might be part of your trouble. When
I installed it all, it was working fine. It was seeing it for like at least a month, and then just not anymore. Boom.
So
I didn't really want. I was trying not to use the words all of a sudden. Going to want to have to cough up another nickel for you.
I know. It's up to a quarter now, Dan.
With inflation.
The issue is, though, the issue on that version. Yeah, the issue on that version, I think, is actually speaking to your problem. I mean, we're in this field that we're in all the time. Most support won't even talk to us unless the software is current, and that's because all the different versions of software you're trying to get to work together are all assuming a few things. So that version of Photoshop, why would it not? I know because, and this is just a conjecture, because some other software grabs it and says, "I'm using it now," and Photoshop Elements doesn't know how to deal with that.
It doesn't know. Yeah, it doesn't know how to get around it.
That's my thinking. Is that it's saying, "Hey, buddy, you pushed in front of me," and the software is like, "Hey, you're Photoshop Elements 2. I don't even know who you are. Get out of here." And I would contend it's something like that, Dan, that you're not going to get around. Because you're pretty geeky. You've done everything you can do. I think it's that. I mean, unless Dennis, you have another thought.
The other thought that I have is it could be the hardware. And I'm thinking the USB controller of the computer that's malfunctioning.
Right, but he's going to say it's working on everything else.
Right, I get that.
Know.
But that also comes back to what you're talking about with another software process or a service that's intercepting it in a way that prevents Elements from seeing it.
I'll give you another example.
It all is part of a piece here.
Right, so I'll give you an example, Dan. I'm running the streaming box over here for this our simulcast that's happening. The old Lenovo laptop that I used to use, when I connected a second or third USB device, it would choke on the ability to manage all these USB devices through the stream. So I had to upgrade to a newer computer that had more bandwidth. I'd never seen a USB interface complain about not enough resources in my entire career until finally this Lenovo quit on that. So that hardware was not capable of doing it. So in this case, I'm guessing it's the Elements is too old to deal with the other guys grabbing the device.
A way to see if I'm possibly right would be to plug in the scanner to a different USB port.
I tried that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you're gonna have to bite the bullet, man, and get a current version.
Yeah. Well, I have a version 7, which that's seeing the scanner just fine, but. I just like the Elements too. It's familiar to me. I'm comfortable with it. But anyway, I'm thinking what I'm probably going to end up having to do is wipe it again, reinstall everything, and once I get it all set up, perfect, and it's working, do a full system backup, and then when it comes to
keep restoring from backup when it fails.
I'll do what I got to do. But but hey. But anyway, move on to the next thing. I call. I've noticed sometimes in the Microsoft security, app and browser control seems to just turn itself off, and I have to keep turning it back on. Any idea what that would be about?
It would turn itself off on app and browser control.
Browser control?
Yeah, app and browser control. It's one of the options in Windows Security. You know, and then, I mean, when I click to turn it back on, it turns on just fine. But a lot of times when I start the computer, it's off. You know?
Well, because they want to make sure they have enough access to your system. No, just kidding. Yeah, this is definitely a problem.
Yeah.
It's definitely a
by
problem.
the way, while I'm on here with you, you guys are talking about Copilot.
Yeah.
Copilot can be uninstalled, by the way. I have uninstalled it.
Sure.
Yeah, we
I've
found an
uninstalled it
article
on
about
everything.
turning it off.
Yeah. But when you do an update, though, it's going to load back on there, I guarantee you.
At some
point. I get to uninstall it again.
Yeah, well, right. You'll teach him.
But anyway.
I'm trying to find out why it's doing it, because you're not alone, Dan. This problem is a problem. I mean, some Reddits. I don't know why it's doing it. I haven't found an answer yet.
All right.
But you turn it back on, right?
Yeah. And when I turn it back on, it turns on just fine, and it stays on until I shut the computer off, and then next time I turn the computer back on.
Oh, you know what?
Actually, not even every time, but most of the time, I'll get the little triangle on the Windows security icon, and when I click on it, it pops open the security window, and it says the app and browser control is turned off.
Right.
And I have to turn it back on.
The answers that I'm seeing quickly is that you could have corruption in your OS, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're wiping and reloading that all the time. But you could have a damaged security app or corruption in your OS causing this, is what people have said. And of course, you have to do restores to go find the solution to solve it.
There is one simple thing that you could try.
Yeah.
You go into your settings, and actually, you click on the Windows Start key, and then you type Windows Security. Okay. And when you see Windows Security in the results, you right-click on it. Then you click App Settings. Then you either reset or repair the app, or do both. And see, what you're doing is you're just resetting how the Windows Security app itself works.
All right, I will try that when I get a chance. Right now, I'm driving a truck. I'm in North Carolina right now.
Oh, awesome! Sounds good, Dan. Well, be careful. Keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
All right.
Stay off the phone too.
Yeah. Stay on the road. Yeah. All right, Dan. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye. Driving in North Carolina. His issue. I also think that when you load the new flavor of Adobe with the old flavor there too, I think the new flavor is just taking control, and the old one just doesn't know what to do with it. I really think that's what's going on. It's just some sort of just too old to fight with the new, and that might even be the combination. He's got the 7 on there and the 2. Sometimes when you run 2, even with Office, same thing. Microsoft doesn't like to have different flavors of Word on the same OS because it messes with the DLLs that are there, that are linking. So if you've got the version 2 of Adobe Elements fighting with 7, one of them's got the DLLs grabbed.
Oh, yeah. There could definitely be a conflict.
Just speculating. I have no idea. We're going to step out for a quick break here. Bob and Hebron, hang on. We'll be right back.
It's coming, Hartford. The Greek Festival 2025. Sponsored by St. George Greek Orthodox Cathedral. May 29th through June 1st. Enjoy Greek food, wine, music, and Greek dancing. 433 Fairfield Avenue in Hartford. Details at stgeorgecathedral.org.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, well, well. If your well isn't producing a ready supply of potable water, Joe the plumber can help. From well pump installation to repair, we'll make sure everything's working well. Sorry, I didn't write this. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
With McValue at McDonald's, you don't just get deals on the drinks, you get deals on McDonald's drinks. So when you're breaking a sweat, embrace the chill without breaking the bank. And when your crew is running on empty, keep your wallet full while refreshing the squad.
Don't just pass the vibe check. Ace it with drinks like Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper, or any size soft drink for $1.39. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, we are back. This is Computer Talk with Tab. That thing that Joey played after the last break was probably a product called Refusion. It's an AI tool, of course, where you can generate your own music. The singing, the music, the whole thing is all prompt-based. And so he found that tune about AI.
It reminds me of the Three Dead Troll song, Every OS Sucks.
Yeah.
Now we need an AI version of that, Every AI Sucks.
Yeah. I mean, and you can create it in just minutes.
It's scary.
Just prompt it. Actually, you can actually prompt it using the Every OS Sucks. You know, I would create an AI.
Ooh.
You can do it right
I'll
now,
be right
Joey.
back.
Yeah, we'll have Joey do that for the next show. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. We'll put a link up there for you if you want to play with it. Who needs musicians anymore when you have AI? Who needs artists anymore when you have AI? Who needs... We're all going to have nothing to do. Let's go to Bob in Hebron and see what he's got going on. Hey, Bob.
Hi, guys. Thanks for answering my questions. It's about Windows updates, and do security updates automatically come to your computer so you don't have to do check for updates to get them?
They should. When they get released, Microsoft obviously releases them. When your computer is on, the Windows Update service periodically will go and see if there's anything pending. It'll happen at least a couple times a day. And when Microsoft has released a security update for your computer, it should get detected by the Windows Update service. It'll begin downloading it, and then it should present itself to you when it's downloaded it and it's ready to go. As a matter of fact, that's what my computer did maybe an hour ago.
Ah, fun.
It said, you've got so many updates, it'll reboot or it'll install them the next time you restart.
When you want to get something done. The next time you want to get something done with your computer, they're going to update and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it happens often enough when we're like working on a computer that's got a problem, and you have to reboot to finish fixing it. Well, then all of a sudden you'll see the Windows updates loading just at exactly the most inopportune moment, but it happens all the time.
It really does.
So honestly, yeah, it happens automatically. It happens even when you don't want it to happen.
Yep.
They will come in.
When you least expect it, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, and those, like if I do view update history, it has feature updates, which I only got, I only have a couple, but quality updates, and I see that some of them are cumulative, some of them are security.
Yep.
And those are the ones that would, now the feature updates, I'd actually have to ask for those, right?
Not necessarily. They will initially show up as optional updates, when they get released.
Yeah.
A few months later, they should then shift to where it really wants to install it. Now, there's a caveat with that, okay? Because for feature updates, there are sometimes things on your computer that Windows detects, and it knows that it can't install that update right away. Or it will just keep it on hold as an optional update, even past the point where it might want to install it, just because that it knows there's something on the computer that might interfere with it or that might not perform well afterwards. Microsoft does kind of keep a compatibility list for things, and it will use its judgment as to how to present it to you, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
But eventually, once enough time has gone by, that feature update will get installed on your computer.
Yep.
It's just a function of how long it's been out, plus what's on your computer itself that might have, made it slow that a little bit. That's all.
Okay. So on my, let's see, I got one setting here. Get latest updates as soon as they're available. I have that turned off. That's so everything works okay even with that setting off. I don't want to be
the first on your block.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
First on your block to have smoke coming out of his computer.
Yeah, that's okay to do that.
So,
yeah, it's okay to leave it set that way because things will eventually get in there. It's just a matter of whether it happens the day after they release the update or a week after they release it.
Right.
Okay? If that makes any sense.
Yeah. You can delay it.
Okay. Now there's I have a couple of computers that are waiting their turn to go into daily use because I'm still trying to run my old ones as long as they'll last.
Yep. Running out of time. Hurry up, Bob.
I don't. Pardon me?
We're running out of time. Hurry up, Bob.
Oh, okay, so I don't turn them on that often. How often should I run computers?
At least once a week and leave it on for 24 hours.
All right, hope that helps you, Bob. But
you don't have to log in. Just power it up.
Just have it be
and
there.
just leave it running.
Thank you guys all for being part of the program. We do appreciate it. Thank you, Mike G. Thank you, Joy Begorin.
And remember, we want you to be geeks, too.
See you next Saturday.
Retirement statements just hit mailboxes, and for many, the shock is real. Some investors lost 20% or more in just the first quarter. If you're close to retirement, that's more than a dip. It's a danger. But here's what most advisors won't tell you. Gold was up over 30% during the same time. That's a 60% swing. And in retirement, that kind of gap can change everything. So compare your Q1 statement to gold's performance. Then call Noble Gold Investments. Noble Gold specializes in helping people protect what they've earned with real assets like gold and silver. If you're tired of watching your nest egg shrink, it may be time for a change. And right now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. Compare and call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across their multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys.